Yo, today's encouragement comes from a book called "It Takes What It Takes." The author, I believe, is Trevor Mowad. Actually, today's encouragement is inspired by that book. We'll talk about that book later. The encouragement is the power of choice, and this has been talked about before, and it's been talked about maybe differently. So don't write me off. Um, and I have these internal arguments myself, and I would imagine that you may have them as well. This argument of I don't really have a choice, or you don't understand my situation, or um, we argue against this idea that we can choose. Sidebar: I wrote about this last week. When there's another great quote: "When we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them." And my argument back is that we should absolutely argue, but that we should just start arguing for things that matter, things that are meaningful, things that are edifying, things that are supportive, things that serve us. So, by all means, let's keep arguing, but let's just quit arguing for our limitations. Why we can't, why we're not able, why we're unqualified, why we're not good enough, why whatever, and let's just start arguing for why it's possible, or why we could, or why we do have the power to choose. That's what I'm going to choose. I choose not rosy optimism, but belief that I can figure it out. I choose to believe that I have a choice. I choose to argue for things that are supportive and helpful and good. I encourage you to do the same. So if you're writing off this belief of the power to choose, maybe just argue along with me today for the opposite, that is possible. So we have the power to choose. We have the power to choose not always our circumstance, but how we respond to circumstance. We have the power to choose maybe after some initial thoughts that just kind of pop up, right? We had the power to choose after that how we want to think about something, the power to choose how we want to see something, that we have the power to choose the narrative of what's happening to us. We have the power to choose how we respond. And unfortunately, we give up this power frequently, consistently. And I think that we do this for a couple of reasons. One, because oftentimes, again, we're busy arguing for the limitation, why we can't, why this stinks, why we failed, whatever. And we kind of get stuck in that rut of like all the reasons why not. The other thing about choosing to believe in the power of choice is that it puts us on the hook. There's skin in the game now. It's on us, and that's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes because we have to own the fact that I chose that feeling. I chose that response. I made that decision. It didn't go as well as I would like or what other people would think, and here I am. I made that choice. I chose to leave, and I maybe should have stayed, right? Whatever. I chose. Here's what happened. It's on me. And that's sometimes we don't want that responsibility. It's easier for the universe to have betrayed us, or for our spouse to have put us in the mood, this bad mood, right? Or our kid to have ruined the day, or whatever. It's just easier to have someone else carry that burden. But there's certainly significantly greater reward on the side of accepting the power to choose. We can sort of modify how we think and feel and react and respond, and therefore gain greater ownership over the results if we're willing to accept the power to choose. So I just want to encourage you today to argue for good things, argue for things that are edifying, argue for things that are supportive and helpful, and serving. And one of those things we can argue for is that we have the power of choice, and we can choose how we want to be. We can choose how we want to respond. Again, we can choose maybe after the fact, but we can choose how we want to think about things, and we can choose a narrative that we want to. We can choose a story we want to tell, or that we want to listen to. As always, pulling for you, and I look forward to talking to you next time.